And sorry, because my English is not enough to explain all the thoughts I have in my mind, and it's not so easy to explain everything, but I try, because I think it's difficult with Italian words for you to understand. And here is easy, this place, to understand better what Bolgheri is. And for Italy, Bolgheri is a very particular place. Now is probably the place where we have the more expensive wines, important for international taste. And Sassicaia, Ornellaia, Masseto, high prices, fashion, easy to understand for the new market we have in the world everywhere, from China to America, everywhere. But when I arrived here, 74, for the first year I met the country, coming from the north of Italy, no vineyard here. What you see now was not possible 30 years ago. And so this place is the only place in Italy where we don't have a tradition on the shoulder. When you go to Lia in Chianti, Chianti is famous for the wine since 400 or 500 years ago. And here no one was labeling a bottle, because this part of Italy is named Maremma, is very particular, with a very particular story. You can understand something looking what you can see in the landscape. The old village on the hill, because
Castagneto Carducci.
Castagneto Carducci is the mayor is living here, is the main village. Come si dice comune?
Comune in Italian, in English, doesn't exist, but it would be like the community, which is, you know, bigger than the town, and it includes this, but the mayor
the
is
main village. The boss is living in the...
the boss lives there.
Then if you go
We always
10
talk about
kilometers
bosses.
to the north, and maybe later we can go there, is Bolgheri. Bolgheri is a very, very little village, very nice, but it's famous only because now we use the name Bolgheri for the wine. And all the DOC is inside this area, between Castagneto and Bolgheri. And you see also the very important, the hills, not very tall, but the distance of the hills from the sea, you see there is 10 kilometers, and the position is northeast. So you cover the wind coming from Russia, very cold in the winter, but terrible in the spring, and keeping the humidity coming from the sea. So in this little area we have a microclimate, different, because we are warmer in winter, we are more fresh in summer, but very fresh in the night, in the morning, and very sunny during the day, because always the wind coming from the sea is cleaning the air. So the radiation is full. Now is a good moment to see here, because the light here is so much. Now is I cut the vine, and you see is crying, is beginning to work. Is a big difference with Montalcino or Chianti Classico. So this is to understand this place is giving in the wine something is unique. And when I arrived here, I was not involved in the project to produce wine, important wine. I was studying at university agriculture, and I was working in a farm producing peaches and strawberries mainly, oil, tomatoes, wet hedgehogs, everything like a Tuscan tradition. The wine was a little production in the here, and was the traditional production. The wine was like a food. You had to produce a lot. The only problem was to produce a lot, not to sell to another people. So the quality was not changing the price. 74. 84, 83, I had my first rent, because I decided to do something by myself. And I found that the cheaper rent I found was the vineyard. So I began to produce wine, not thinking anything to produce important quality wine, only to produce something able to allow to my family to go on. 83, 93, just survive. 93, I began to decide was the job of my life. The passion was also in knowledge. And I met Onelaya, 93, 94, 95. I've been the responsible of the production in Onelaya. I met a lot of the best consultants in the world, and I opened my mind. I understood that the market was not only Tuscany, was not only Italy, was not only Europe, was the world. And I understood it was important to produce here something in good quantity to be the family production, but enough to stay in the market, and the market is the world. Big changement in front of what was 50 years ago.